Okay, y'all, welcome back to Let's Talk Rebecca's Way. So I'm gonna jump in this subject because a cousin of mine's asked me to talk about this topic, and this is a thing that I have been working on since about 2003, and it's called the bitter bee syndrome. The bitter bee syndrome. This can be men or women. The bitter bee syndrome I call is females and men that is bitter all the time. And I believe this is a passed down syndrome from the type of family dynamics you are raised in. And literally, y'all, I have been walking around doing hypotheses, asking the most important questions, inserting myself into different women family dynamics, even men family dynamics, women that was raised solely by women in their home, men that were raised by women and under men. So the bitter syndrome, y'all, is when you find women, you ever found a woman that is of age, grown, and she live at home with her mom. Not only do the mom live in the house, it's just a bunch of women, period, in the house. It be mama, auntie, grandmama, cousins. They all live in this house. They all got kids, but there's no man in sight. There is no man to be found. Let me tell you why, because they're a bunch of bitter women. I know I'm going to get some backlash from this, but I'm here to keep it real. It is 2021. So if I've been doing this study and this findings of information since 2003, then you do the math. I have inserted myself in families in my own town. I have went to the next town, inserted myself, made friends, like literally. Bitter bee syndrome, you can smell it off of a woman. You can smell it off of a man. They just bitter all the time. It's because of the people they were raised under. People, this goes back to family dynamics. What is your family dynamic? Are you raised by a bunch of women that is bitter? And let me tell you what they will do. They will talk you out of being in a relationship with a man that love you. Majority of the time, when it comes to these bitter women, they get good men to lay up and have babies with. And once they have the baby with him, they run him through the ringer, people. Through the ringer. They talk about him. They play baby games with him. Because they got these negative nannies that done been hurt in their life by men, and now their whole view of men is negative. I don't care if a man brought you flowers every single day. I don't care if a man took your car, got washed once a week. I don't care how much that man will do for that woman, because she is part of the bitter bee syndrome family. Her bitterness will start to come out. She gonna accuse you of cheating. She gonna always accuse you of looking at other women. You can say good morning to a woman and she gonna accuse you of sleeping with that woman. Why? Because she was raised around bitter women. She was raised around women that they only view a man is cheat on you, hurt you, this, you, that, you, this, you, that, you, whatever. All negative. It's never nothing positive. I have watched these women lose out on the best thing they probably gonna find. Yeah, they got the child with them, but guess what they do? They take the kids from them. I have been in bitter bees syndrome women homes where it's 5, 6 kids and none of them see their daddy. None of them in communication with their daddy. They just raised by a bunch of bitter women. And only thing they're producing is other bitter women. And not only is they producing bitter women, but the young men that's raised under these bitter women is going to be bitter too. They not going to have nothing good to say about a woman. That's what these family dynamics don't understand. That they are setting their kids up for a certain type of failure in life that will never have them succeed in love. will never have them successful in carrying on a healthy relationship. Bitter women, they always got a complaint. They always nagging. Nothing a man do would never be good enough for them. Never be good enough for them. That man can work an 18-hour job. He could come and break you off half your check. And guess what? You gonna go in that house with them other bitter women. They gonna tell you how he ain't no good. They're going to tell you how you need to let him go. I don't watch women lose out on good men because the bitter women they were raised under got them so poisoned and so contract under this view of thinking that is false. Now let's get to bitter men. Bitter men is raised by bitter women and bitter men. The bitter uncles in the family tell them how women ain't no good. A woman can't be trusted. Why? Because they got hurt by a woman and then they never hurt. They never worked on their hurts. Bitter men is produced by women. Hey, don't be mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Bitter men are produced by single mothers that they watch their mama go through one man after another man, after another man, after another man, after another man. And why you think your son is sitting there and not watching you, he is. And when he grow up, he's going to treat women like crap. He's not going to have no trust. He's going to be insecure. Every time that woman want to leave, do something, he going to start an argument. You want to know why? Because he been watching his mama that got man after man playing the game. And now here he is in his adulthood and he don't got no trust for no woman. Ain't no woman good. Ain't no woman worthy. Ain't no woman is. And he take them women through hell. People. Hell. Once again, I have done my research. Okay? I come from male friends. I have a ton of male friends. And some of them was raised in 2-parent homes. Some of them was raised in single-parent homes. And the ones that was raised in single-parent homes, not all the men, but a great percentage of men, you wonder why you getting treated so crappy. It's because what he watched his mama do. What he watched his aunties do. And he was sitting there taking note as a youth. That woman ain't no good because he watched his mama play money games with dudes, lie and say she need help with rent, but she really don't. She just trying to get some money out of a nigga. So you know what he view women as? You just trying to get money out of me. He watched a mama that'll lay up with one man, and soon as that man gone, an hour or two later, another man coming through the door. So you know what he's thinking on you? When he leave and go to work, or when he leave and go chill with his friends, or when he leave and go home to his residence, you're going to be laid up with another man. And there's nothing you can say or you can do to convince him different. Why? Because he was raised under a bunch of women that was no good. They were bitter. See, bitter women you will find quite often treat men like crap. Use them for sex, use them for their money, and throw them away. And they'll have sons. And here their sons are sitting up watching this, taking this in. And this is when you turn your sons into womanizers. This is when you turn your sons into aggressive men. Just like a woman should be careful about the things she do in front of her daughter, you have to be careful about the things you do in front of your son. Because he's sitting there taking notes, baby. He's taking notes. And he's turning out to be bitter towards women in life. I have watched good men lose out on good women because they're so bitter. Because they don't know how to trust. Because this goes back to trauma. This goes back to working on your hearts. Because everything he see out his eyes of a woman was designed and built by the women in his family. His perspective on women was designed and built by the women in his family. So if he come from a family of women that is laying up with man after man, using man for their money and lying to man, then guess what? He has now got this image in his mind that all women is like this. And all women is not. All women ain't waiting for you to leave to sneak another man in the door. All women ain't out here looking to use a man for his money. But because he was raised under this bitter woman syndrome and he been around his bitter uncles that been heartbroken by a woman and listening to the negative things they got to say about women, now you have a young man that you don't push out into the world that is bitter. He's angry low key and he's bitter. This is being done in homes, in black homes, every day. Every day. Every day, people. Every day. Bitter syndrome is, okay, so you got a group of women that live in a house together. Everyone is bitter. No one got a good story about a man. Every man that came in their life used them, abused them, did this to them, did that to them. And so now they just angry and they mad at the world. I have watched my homeboys get in relationships with bitter women. And they treated these women like the queens they wasn't. But they was trying to make them. And they laid up and had babies with them. And I done even heard some bitter women say, only thing I wanted you for was a baby. Me and my mama and my sister gonna raise this baby. We don't need you. And now you raising that little girl to be bitter like you. And when she go out into the world, she gonna be a headache for a man that come her way. Y'all not gonna like me because of this. But hey, I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to tell the truth about it. We all know a bitter syndrome B. Man or woman. We all know them. We can sit back and pinpoint, oh my God, I know, so-and-so is so bitter. Nothing is satisfying to them. You can bring them the world and the stars and the moon and the sun and the clouds and all that. And they still gonna have an issue. They still gonna be mad about something. That's just because they was raised bitter. And they got the bitter woman syndrome. And they got the bitter man syndrome. So let me tell you something. Ain't nothing you gonna be able to do to make that person happy. This is my belief. Date people that are healed like you. Don't date people that come from these type of family dynamics, man. I'm just here to keep it real. Get to know a person before you lay up and have sex with that person. So quite often, we jump in bed with people before we know them. And then after we done jumped in bed and kids come into play, now you realizing this is a bitter person. This person is so bitter, they won't let me see my child. They playing all types of baby games with me. I done seen my friends just throw their hands up like, I'm going to wait till my kid get 17 and reach out to them and let them know I always been here. I always wanted to love you, but it was your mama. It was your mama that kept me away. See, y'all don't want to have that topic. Y'all don't want to have that topic of conversation with me because it's going to get real. So let me stay at topic at hand. Let's make sure the kind of people we are dealing with. Bitter men and bitter women. Your mama and your auntie and your grandma hurts is not yours. Men and women, the things your bitter family members went through is not your situation. Don't embody it. Don't let them project their hurts, their trauma onto you and dictate your life. Because you will find yourself missing out on something that was good for you. And you will find yourself looking back over your life and all you've been under is these bitter women. Bitter women. Y'all know them. They are in every state, every town, every city, every county. You know a house full of women with kids and there's no man in the sight because they're all bitter. You know a man that is somewhere, walk around and always got a chip on his shoulder about women. Always got something negative to say about women because he was raised by bitterness. He was raised by bitterness. I'm here to tell y'all, I watched it over, and over. Do not get yourself locked into these situations. Don't have babies with them. Because let me tell you what you're going to have, a living hell. You're going to have a living hell trying to be a part of their life. You're going to have a living hell trying to get that man to take care of your baby. Why? Because he's so bitter and he ain't going to take care of your child. He going to be running around here. Oh, F that B. Oh, that's probably not my baby. She was sneaking niggas in the house. She was doing this. And in all reality, you wasn't doing none of that. He just so bitter. He can't see past what he was raised under. He can't see past that everyone ain't like his mama. Everyone not like his aunts. Everyone not like his cousins. That he was watching as a young kid growing into a young man. I've watched it. I got friends that I had to change their view of women. And they told me, this why I don't trust no woman, man. Because my mama have one nigga laid up, nigga doing this, nigga doing that. Soon as that nigga go to work, she got another nigga coming in the door. Telling the nigga she need rent money, telling them she need this, but she don't need none of that. So now his view of women is messed up. And he is bitter. And now he's out to get women. Instead of going to confront his mama and basically just said, Mama, why you was a hoe? Mama, why you was a hoe? Instead of blaming every woman that he come across. Instead of running these women through the ringer that he come across. Nah, he'll never do that. He'll never do that. But he'll run you through the ringer, baby. You will be every hoe, every bee, every slut, everything under the sun of no good. All because of what he watched his mama go through. And she ain't even go through nothing. She was just being a hoe. She was just being a whore. And now he have this perspective of women that they all whores. That no woman is faithful. That no woman can be in a relationship with one man. I've been friends with men who mother didn't know who their father was. Why? Because she was simply being a whore. So he grew up not knowing who his father was. And instead of his mother telling him the truth, she tried to paint the picture. It was his. It was his fault. It was daddy's fault. It was the man's fault. No, it's your fault that you was a whore. Right now in 2021 is households of bitter women being raised. It is households of bitter men being raised all over America, people. And we get in these relationships with them. And we trying to figure out why all this arguing always gotta go on. You wondering why you done laid up with this man for 2-3 years and now you got a baby. He don't want to take care of the baby. It's JoJo baby. It's Sam baby. You know why? Because he was with his mama. And he watched his mama lay with man after man after man. And then she popped up pregnant. And she didn't really know who the daddy was, but she just put the baby on the best man that was going to take care of the job. Don't be mad at me. I'm just the messenger, people. Once again, I've been doing this study of bitter bee syndrome since I've been 2003. What led me to look this syndrome over is because I was with a bitter guy. And I kept wondering, why is this man, every time I'm going to work, why is this man treating me like I'm cheating? He will follow me to work, make sure I was at work. He would sit in front of my job, see who I was going to lunch with, where I was going to lunch at. Everything I did, I was cheating. If I was with my mom, I only left with my mom to go cheat. He could be with me out somewhere. And if I seen somebody I knew, oh, I slept with him. No way you went to school with this person. No way you was in the JROCT program with this person. No way. No way you only slept with him. That's because of what he watched his mother do. I have watched my male friends have babies with bitter women, and they got to go to court. And they're fighting year after year after year to see this child. And she's clutching this child with their life because she didn't want nothing from you but a child. That's it. And she'll run them through the ringer. She'll run that good man through the ringer with her bitter ways, with her bitterness. Be careful of the bitter syndrome people. Be careful of these ones that have been raised in these bitter dynamics. Be careful, because let me tell you what, people, they are poisonous to our lives. I'm just here to keep it real. They're poison. They're poison. They're like poison ivy. Don't lay up and have babies with them. Don't get in relationships with them. Stop jumping and rushing and getting in relationships with people. Get to know these people. Once again, go around their family. Find out what kind of family they was raised in. And it'll tell you a lot. Because that's all, a lot of times I just inserted myself in different family dynamics. And I was able to see, this is why my friend act the way he act. This is why this bitter woman is so bitter, because every woman in her family is bitter. Nobody got nothing good to say about a man. Your hurt is not my hurt. Your downfalls is not my downfalls. But so often in the Black community, that's what we do. We project our hurts onto other people and beat it down into their heads that, yeah, that's what's going to happen to you. That ain't that's not what's going to happen to you. You don't know what's going to happen to you until you try. So I'm just here to let y'all know. Date healed. Date unbitter people. Date people that come from good family dynamics. And even if they don't come from good family dynamics, they may come from a effed up family dynamic, but they may have worked on themselves and said, I don't want to be like these people in my family. I'm going to go a different route. Because a lot of times, Black people, we got to reteach ourselves. And we got to relearn some things. Because how we were raised. What we viewed. So on that note, I'm here. I'm about to get ready to go. I love y'all. Stay true. Stay authentic. Like, share, subscribe.